Hi, everyone. Welcome to Junodrome Tarot. I'm JP. This is another Pick a Card Tarot reading. Today, we're going to be doing another fan favorite, the Yes or No Tarot videos. I know that I've done one of these relatively recently, but I just wanted to bring back another one for you because I know that certain people really do love them, and I want to be able to provide them for you. So, in a moment, we're going to show you the cards so you can pick whichever reading resonates to you the most. But before I jump into it, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. We've just recently passed 900 subscribers, and in order to celebrate you and thank you for that, I am doing a giveaway for a free private reading with me. You can find a link below on how you can enter into that drawing. It's going to be open until October 1st. 2021. So if you're catching this after that, no worries. I would plan on doing regular celebration free readings coming up here, particularly at the 1000 mark. We're going to be doing a bunch of them. I'll probably be giving out 2 readings and maybe some other free stuff and stuff. But this was just a quick little way for me to thank everybody who subscribed. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. It really does help me out tremendously and get this out to more people. Like this video as well if you like it. And yeah, anyway, without further ado, I'm going to now show you the piles for you to choose, and then you can find a link to your pile in the description section of this video. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in your reading. Thanks! Hi there, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So this is going to be your reading for what is the answer to your yes or no question. So we have 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no. We've got the pendulum, a coin, and a die. The coin and the die are going to give us a heads and tails and an even or an odd to give us a yes or a no. And the pendulum will swing in one direction or the other. So we'll either get a triple yes, triple no, or a maybe leaning in either direction. So the first thing that we have to do is just triangulate this pendulum to make sure that we're getting the right answers. So, first question, am I surrounded by plants right now? I am indeed, because I love my plants so much. You know, I don't have any pets, but I do have lots of plants. So, I'm just going to adjust this microphone here real quick. Okay, that's much better. So we had one yes, or just like a quick little triangulated here. We'll keep going. So, did a FedEx truck just drive by me? No, it was a UPS truck. Am I sitting in front of one of my paintings? I am indeed. And guys and girls and non-binary folks, I'm really excited about the paintings that I'm coming up with right now. They're pretty great. So feel free to check out at Junodrome channel to see some of the art that I work on as well. Okay, let's keep going though. We'll ask one more. Am I looking at something that is the color fuchsia? No, it is the color red. Correct. Okay, so what is the answer to pile number 1's question? Okay, pile number 1, it feels like a no. So the pendulum is saying no. Let's take a look at the die next. Even is yes, odd is no. And we have a 6. So we've got 1 yes, 1 no. And finally, the coin. We've got a head. So 2 yeses, 1 no. That's a maybe leaning yes. So for whatever it is that you're asking about, the answer is not certain. Specifically, we don't quite know the answer yet, but it is still a leaning yes. So it is in a yes-word direction. Let's take a look at the cards to kind of get a better picture of what we're talking about here. So first off, we have this deer, and baby deer can talk about innocence. And potentially, beginnings, new beginnings, starting at the foundation level. So potentially, what we're talking about here is this idea of being in a state of your own innocence and maybe returning to innocence. So whatever it is you're asking about, there is this kind of new energy kind of flowing in here. So we'll take a look at some tarot cards here. There's a quote on the back that we'll save till the end. In the meantime, let's just take a look at some of these tarot cards. So we've got two from the Smith-Waite deck, and then we got a pile from the Wild Unknown. So maybe leaning yes. Let's see. We've got the Nine of Pentacles, okay, and we've got the Hanged Man. Interesting. Okay, so so whatever it is that you're asking about, right? There is this energy of feeling stuck, right? With the Hanged Man there. But what's important to remember with the Hanged Man, and I'm feeling it in particular in this reading, is you see this halo around his head there. Yes, he might be stuck, but it's like he's purposefully hung himself up on this tree, like Odin. He can be very similar to the idea of Odin, who hung himself upside down from the Yggdrasil, the life tree, in order to learn how to transcend dimensions and learn the magic of his people and stuff like that. So what's important to remember from that is that sometimes the universe will pull us aside and put us in a position where we're feeling stuck, which I'm kind of feeling because this is a maybe pile. There might not be a definitive answer that's going to be given to you so easily in a tarot reading from outside of yourself, because it's quite possible that you're being asked to go within to understand this question, and particularly too with the Nine of Pentacles here. The Nine of Pentacles, she's basking in her own private garden. And so it's important to remember, you can look at the Nine and the Ten of Pentacles. They're both very similar cards. The Nines and the Tens in the tarot tend to be very similar because they're the pentultimate and the ultimate card. So they're second to last and last. And in particular, in this particular situation that's being projected here, it's important to remember that the Nine of Pentacles, she's all on her own here, right? And the 10, they're depicted as being around people. So depending on what you're asking about, particularly if this is any kind of relationship question or any kind of thing like that, all the answers are pointing back to you going within yourself to get a better understanding of things. And maybe even that will start this new beginning energy here with that deer. Like, it's like, in order for you to leave this period of stagnation that you might be in, it's going to be really, really important for you to let go of any outside influence and let go of what other people are thinking, saying, understanding of the situation, and try to come up with your own personal understanding of it. It's like you got a maybe leaning yes, where it's like we do know that yes is kind of the direction, but it's almost like it doesn't have to be. So particularly if this is one of those instances where maybe you wanted to know, or you're uncertain, and that kind of uncertainty energy is being reflected here. But like I said, it's like with that Hanged Man halo going around his head, it's like the insights want to come into you, but it's going to take you coming to those insights within yourself, and less asking somebody for outside influence. I know it's like, I feel like sometimes these readings are like that, where it's like, if this was a Magic 8 Ball, it might be, ask again later or something. And that's like one of the most annoying answers you can get. So I understand that. Like I said, this is a leaning yes. So, it is in one direction. And it feels like it's a positive outcome, but it's like you gotta wait just a little bit longer almost, or something like that. Okay, so now let's look at some cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so there you go, right? Like, I was just talking about the Ten of Pentacles with the 9. So that's great. There's definitely a lot of material abundance coming into this reading as well. So if you're asking about a job or some kind of employment situation, there's definitely some favorability coming out of that, where it's like maybe you're about to leave some kind of period where you felt like you weren't growing or you weren't making more money and you wanted to make more. Well, it's like there's this new beginning coming in for that for some people. Let's keep looking. We've got, oh wow, we've got the Father of Pentacles, which is the King of Pentacles in most decks. Yeah, there's some heavy abundance energy coming into this reading. We've got the Death card. Okay, yeah, so the Death is talking more about those changes and new beginnings energy. And then the final tarot card is the Seven of Cups. Okay, which is reflecting that maybe again, right? So it's like with that Hanged Man and the Seven of Cups and it being a maybe leaning yes, it's like if you're asking about a potential job, like is this the right career move for me? Is this the right path to move down? With the Seven of Cups coming out and with it being a maybe, it's like this could be a good path for you, right? Like whatever you're asking about, it has the potential to be a really great situation, but it's important to remember it's not the only thing, right? And I think that that's kind of one of the major messages coming out of this reading. It's like whatever you're asking about, it's not the only situation that's possible for you. And I think it's important to remember with that Seven of Cups here, you have options. So I definitely see a new beginning coming regardless. You're ending this Hanged Man stuck energy for sure. With that Death card, it's like there is an ending coming to a certain situation. So that is in the cards, right? There's definitely an end coming here. However, what you're moving towards is still open. It's open-ended. And so it's like you're being asked to really take a look at, what's going to bring the most stability for you, what's going to bring the most prosperity for you, what's going to bring the most happiness in a physical sense for you, and to utilize that in your decision making as you walk towards this more. Start asking yourself those questions of, well, what is it that I want for myself? What is it that I need for myself? What is it that is going to make me happy for me? And realize that you're allowed to choose those things, and sometimes there's multiple options out there for you to move forward. And this new beginning is coming in and bringing you a lot of different options. And I think that's a part of this maybe is like you have options. So your final card comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, and it is the masculine energy. Okay, so divine masculine energy is all about taking action. So I do think that there's important action. If you want to leave the situation where you're feeling stuck, I think you're having a lot of opportunity for you to be able to do that. Many separate, different opportunities for you to do that. But it's going to take you taking the steps and taking the action. With that masculine energy, it's like you have to be the one to take the steps. Like your life isn't going to just change unless if you don't take the action to make it change. So to really, take your time, think about what you want. Horns for confirmation out there. I think this is a big reading coming back to really think about what you want. Really do look at all of your options. Look at all of the situations that you could move towards, and this could be, like I said, this is about a job or about a new place to live, or it's about a new relationship, or it could be about whatever it is for you. Take it as it resonates. But this situation, with it being a maybe leaning yes, it's like, yeah, what you're asking about, it could be yes, but it's like with it being that maybe, there's many ways you could move forward. Yes, this could be one of them, but what are the others? And really take your time and look at it. And then once you figure it out, take the solid concrete steps to start working in whatever direction that is for you, and start making it happen that way. Take your time, figure things out, come to an understanding of what you want, and then move in that direction and take action. And flip yourself around from that Hanged Man, and walk towards your abundance and your dreams. So anyway, pile number one, we got one more thing. We got the quote on the back of this deer card, and it says, "Let your gentleness be evident to all." So maybe that's one extra hint here, is like, follow your heart in this situation and your own gentleness and kindness. Allow that to help you figure this out. Maybe, oh, and look at, we've got a sunflower here, and we've got these daisies that kind of are similar, yellow flowers, and then these yellow pentacles. There's a lot of yellow in these cards, and so yellow is the color of the solar plexus. So take that into account as well with that masculine energy. It's solar plexus is all about where your power lies, and so it's like you really are being encouraged to take decisive action. Don't let a tarot reading tell you how to move forward in your life, right? like you're going to have to come up with that within yourself and on your own. And I know that's not always what you want to hear, but that actually, there's a lot of power in that when you let yourself feel it. It's like you have the power over your own life to make the choice to move towards what you want, and there are many potential options available to you, and it's all about you allowing yourself to take the time and the energy to figure it all out. So anyway, pile number 1, that's my reading for you. I'm going to leave you there. Let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I love hearing from everybody. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are new to the channel or you are tuning back in and you haven't yet, please subscribe. It really, really, really does help me out. We're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. A huge thanks. We just recently passed 900, and if you missed it in the intro, I'm doing a giveaway for a free reading to celebrate reaching 900 subscribers. You can find a link to the giveaway in the description section. That giveaway will be open until October 1st, so please sign up until October 1st, 2021, and after that, I will make the drawing and announce the winner in the next video. So anyway, friends, thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you later. See ya! Hi there, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So this is going to be the reading for what is the answer to your yes or no question. We have 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no. I have a coin, a die, and a pendulum. So we'll get either a triple yes, triple no, or a maybe, leaning one direction or the other. So we'll get you a relatively clear answer, even though we might not have a total full one. Because a lot of times I've noticed with these particular readings that sometimes it's not cut and dry, and sometimes maybe is an actual answer, right? So be open to it, be open to what's going to come in here. So we're going to start with the pendulum and just triangulate it to make sure it is giving us the right answer. So first off, is it starting to get dark outside a little bit? It is, because we are in fall and it is the evening time. Is there a dog statue on my table? No, there is not. There is a pig, though, and he's cute. Am I surrounded by plants right now? Yes, I am. There are a lot of plants, and I love them. Okay, final question. What is the answer to pile number 2's question? Okay, pile number 2. The pendulum feels yes to me. So we have 1 yes. Let's see, the die even or odd. We have an even, so we've got 2 yeses, and now we got the coin, even or odd, or heads or tails. And we got a heads. So pile number 2, you've got a triple yes, which is great. So whatever you're asking about, the basic answer here is a triple yes, which means yes, right? And you chose the pile with this this compass here, and I think that that's perfect for this. So it's like your intuition, your thoughts, the way that you're thinking, the way that you're moving. Hopefully you want a yes here, first off. But I feel as though, you're in alignment right now with whatever it is you're asking about. You are headed in the right course, right? With that compass. And I normally keep the quote on the back until the end, but I'll give it to you now. It says, "Let your heart be your compass." And I feel like that's what you're doing here, pile number 2. So whatever you're asking about, like I said, I hope you want a yes, but it's feeling like a resounding, like, yes, go for it, and take it as it resonates. If you were asking something, but you still wanted kind of a go for it answer, like that's the answer here. So let's take a look at the cards now. I've got some tarot from a bunch of different decks, and then we've got an oracle card, and we'll get a better understanding. But it's a very enthusiastic yes. First off, we have 2 cards from the Herbal Tarot, and we have the King of Pentacles, and we have the Page of Cups. Okay, so So that's interesting. It's like whatever it is that you're asking about here, with it being this enthusiastic yes, we've got two different things coming along here. So it's like you're reaching a culmination on the one hand in the material world, in the material plane. So it's like it's coming into a sense of deep stability and understanding, like your physical world moving in a direction that you are comfortable with, that is working for you, with that King of Pentacles. And then with the Page of Cups here, it's like, but you do have a new start here as well, moving towards following your own heart, right? When with that compass, follow your heart. But like tuning into your emotions and your inner well-being, with this water sign cup. So it's like you have a new start and a new journey towards really fulfilling yourself emotionally, even though you maybe have already been working pretty hard at fulfilling yourself physically, from a material standpoint. It's like now that you have gotten that way, whatever it is you're asking about, it's like you're being encouraged to start taking your own um, emotional fulfillment into the equation. Make sure that you are thinking about what it is that's going to make you happy, and making sure that you're following that, and that you're willing to do the things that it takes to follow your own heart, and to align yourself to the things you truly want in life, and make sure that you're using that as your guide moving forward here. Like as you do that, you might be feeling a need to, well, I got to make sure that I'm making enough money in order to do this and that kind of thing. Well, that stuff seems like you've gotten that taken care of, right? It seems like if you're the King of Pentacles type, you know how to do that. So now it's like, okay, well, I know that I'm going to have my material stuff covered, because I trust myself enough to know that I'm able to bring this into existence. So now that I can let myself have that, what can I do for myself to make myself happy? And what do I need for that? And what's going to emotionally fulfill me now? And how can I bring more of that into my life while still maintaining this sense of material fulfillment that I know that I have in me? So yeah, let's keep looking here. We've got two cards from the Smith Waite deck. Look at the High Priestess. Wow, yeah. And the Magician. Holy power cards, friend. Wow, 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 wow. So remember, I said, there's this enthusiastic yes here. And it really does feel like your intuition is on point. So the biggest thing is whatever you're asking about, really, really, really trust yourself. And with that Magician card here, too, it's like you can make anything happen for yourself. So don't be afraid to, as we start to journey more towards emotional fulfillment, don't be afraid to dream big. And in fact, you're being encouraged to do so with that High Priestess and the Magician. It's like you have the ability with the Magician to make any of those dreams, any of those inner, and this is a very psychic pile too, but any of those visions, any of those dreams, you have the ability to bring them into the real world. And in fact, you're being encouraged to do so. Like now is the moment to start bringing that into existence. And there's never been a better moment for that for you. And it's like that's where it's like your guides and spirit and however you want to conceive of the other side, giving you this reading. It's a very, very, very enthusiastic go for it. Triple yes, yes, whatever it is. And you know what it is because you have that High Priestess there and the Magician. It's like now is the time to make your dreams real. Now is the time to prioritize that dreaming wonderment, and bring that into the real world. Actually, take the steps and actions to make it happen. So next we have two cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and we've got Temperance. And we've got the Tower. Okay, wow. Oh, it's so many powerful cards here. A lot of major arcana. You have 4 major arcana here, and then you have the rest are royal cards. So that's some powerful energy here. So it's important to make sure that you're giving yourself enough credit to know that you are a deeply powerful human being, who is deeply capable of achieving anything that you set your mind to. So make sure that you are aware of that and that you are acting from that understanding, because it's incredibly important with this reading here for your life in general. But other than that, though, with the tower there, it's like there is this big period of shift and change, and you might have already gone through that. But, some major things need to move around in your life. I'm feeling that. But I think you know what those are. And I think that you're ready to take the steps and actions to make that happen with that Magician card. And I think that, it's important to remember, it seems like the universe is there to meet you on the other end of this, right? So it's like, it's okay to take the steps you need to take to make things happen, even if it's scary that you're going to be making some big changes in your life. Like, it's worth that. It's worth you taking the time to change in the ways that you need to and allow yourself to transform into whatever it is you want to transform into. It is 100% worth taking the time and the steps to make that happen, because you're going to be rewarded on the other side of that. And so it's important to remember that, whatever it is you're asking about. And then with that Temperance card there too, it's important to remember as well that, if anything's ever comes your way that you feel a little bit like, oh, I don't know about this, and oh, this seems like a setback, and I don't know. It's important to remember, particularly with that Magician card here, you have the ability in life to make lemons into lemonade, right? So whenever something bad is coming your way, see it not as a setback that's coming from the universe to stop you or something like that, but use it as a fun, challenging situation that's forcing you to think of things in a different way, that's forcing you to think on your feet and to take some action and move things around, right? Allow yourself to see challenges from that perspective as something exciting that can allow you to transform, and that's going to give you some kind of challenge that you have to solve within your life in order to make something happen. And be open to allowing for that kind of situation, something kind of fun and challenging to happen in your life. Be willing and open to use that perspective to help you get through any challenging, difficult moments. That any challenging moment might be an opportunity to create something new, to do something different, and to bring something new and fulfilling into your life. So final card comes from the Shamanic Healing Oracle, and it is Stripping Illusions. Wow. And I think that's about what you're going through right now, pile number 2. As you follow this enthusiastic yes towards your dreams, towards the things that you are really hoping to bring in to your life, it's also important to remember to start to see the things that are either no longer working around you, or anything in your life that needs to move away, that you've been afraid of moving on from, which I felt a little bit with that King of Pentacles energy and that Page of Cups. It's like, you've reached a certain level of security in your life, and maybe that was a hard battle. And you're like, well, if it ain't wrong, don't break it, right? Or whatever. If it ain't broke, don't throw it out, or you know what I mean. Whatever that idiom is, where it's like, you're a little bit afraid to make some changes because things are stable right now, and you don't want to make that unstable. Well, I think that maybe there's an opportunity here for you to start looking at it in a different perspective and start seeing like, well, and like I said, I'm not telling you to quit your job if you need that to live. Like, that's not what I mean here. But maybe, it's time to start thinking about ways to start bringing your own emotional fulfillment towards the forefront, in a way that, you can still maintain your own personal stability from that. But how can you also make yourself happy at the same time? And so the Stripping Illusions card, to me, I feel is talking about that, where it's like all of those things that maybe you're telling yourself you can't take certain actions or do certain things, that's coming from a place of fear, when maybe in reality you actually can make those changes, you actually can make those moves, and it's just a matter of you being open to seeing how those changing moments and situations could come in, and allowing yourself to have those and use those and work with those. So anyway, pile number 2, I'm going to leave you there. This is a really powerful, beautiful reading. It's a triple yes. So I hope you wanted a yes. Not just it being a triple yes, but it is an enthusiastic sign from the universe telling you to go for it, to continue what you've been doing, because you're already on the right course with that compass. And follow your heart, like it said, and make sure that you are allowing yourself to move in the direction that you need to, that you need to, because you're powerful. You have a deeply powerful intuition with that high priestess there, so follow it. Choose to follow your own intuitive understanding, because you have it, and it's powerful, and it's strong, and it's up to you to continue along and follow that through. So anyway, pile number 2, that was my reading for you. I hope that it resonates. Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think of it either way. I love hearing from everybody. A huge, huge, huge thanks to all of my new subscribers. If you are new to the channel, or you have been tuning in for a while but you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. It really does help things out. We recently just passed 900 subscribers, and as a thank you to you, I am doing a giveaway. You can go down to the description section of this video to find a link to the raffle. So you just sign up there, and by October 1st, 2021, that's the date that I'm going to be doing the drawing. So please sign up before Friday. And one lucky viewer will get a free reading. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a huge celebratory giveaway. But I just wanted to do this now because I'm so thankful to have all of you with me. And, this has been a long journey for me. Well, I guess not that long in the grand scheme of things, but I've been doing this for over a year now. And, we grew a lot at the very beginning, and then, I had to go back to work from COVID. And I started this when I was out of work during the beginning of COVID. And, it's been a great lesson in patience for me, because, I don't know about you, but I want instant manifestation, but it doesn't happen that way, and that's fine. So it's been, really humbling and beautiful to watch this channel slowly grow, and I'm happy to be here for you and bring you these messages. So anyway, do let me know in the comments, if you have any thoughts or suggestions, or you like this format or anything. I really do love hearing from everybody, and thank you so, so, so much for tuning in. I deeply, deeply appreciate it, and I am thankful that you're here with me. So anyway, thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day, pile number 2. I will catch you later. See ya. Hi there, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So this is going to be your reading if you chose this cool pile with the owl here. Owls can symbolize wisdom and creativity. They can see in the dark, so hopefully this reading will give you some hints through your own unknowns, right? So this is going to be a yes or no tarot video. These are some of my favorites to do. It's been a minute since I've done a ton of them, and I know I just did one recently, but I know people really like them, so I just wanted to give you another one. So we've got 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no. We've got the pendulum, a die, and a coin. We're going to triangulate the pendulum here first to get an answer from that, and then we'll do either a triple yes, triple no, or maybe from all of these. So some answers I already know. See if the pendulum knows them too. Am I looking at a bunch of obsidian right now? Yes, I am. I got a bunch about a year ago in Oregon, and I'm ready to go back. I want to go on a big, long road trip again, because it's been a while since I have. Okay. Is the painting I'm staring at brown? No, it is not. It's got a lot of colors on it, but brown is not one of them. Did a truck just drive by outside of my window? Yes, it did. Okay. Is there a water bottle next to me? Yes, there is. Okay, final question. What is the answer to pile number 3's question? It seems to be staying on yes. So I'm going to say the pendulum is saying yes. There's a little bit of hesitation in there that I'm just feeling intuitively. So we'll see if it's going to stay a yes. And it is kind of feeling no. Okay, so I think that the pendulum is saying maybe. So maybe this will be a Sometimes there's a rare instance, I know, because there's 3 methods, it's going to lean yes or no. This may be one of those rare maybes, but let's take a look here. It was saying yes, but let's take a look at the others to just kind of see here. The die is a 4, so technically you have 2 yeses. Let's see what the coin has to say. And that's on a yes as well. Okay, you know what? I'm going to call this one a triple yes, although there was a little bit of hesitation. So we're going to say probably yes. This is a little bit more of a yes than a simple maybe leaning yes. It's like a yes. However, I don't know what the however is yet. So we'll see what the reading is saying here. But it's definitely, there's a definitive yes to this reading. It's a little bit more than just a maybe, but there's a little bit of hesitation in there. So let's take a look. We got the owl here. There's a quote on the back of this owl card that I will read at the end. First up, though, before we jump into that, we've got a bunch of tarot cards. 3 first from the Herbal Tarot. We got the Magician. Wow. So whatever it is that you're asking about, it's definitely a yes, but it's like you have the power here in this situation. 2 of Cups. Okay, so it's potential you're talking about some kind of relationship with another person, a partnership, a business partnership, a love situation, family, friends. There's another person in here potentially, or this is talking about yourself because the 2 of Cups can talk about the relationship that you have with yourself. So we have a lot of options here. Final from the Herbal Tarot is the 8 of Cups. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's some interesting. These are general readings, so take this as it resonates. If you're asking about leaving a relationship, you're kind of there's like a yes to that. Yeah. Which obviously not everybody's asking about that, but if you are asking about that, there is definitely that here because we have the 2 of Cups which talks about relationships. We've got the Magician which talks about you coming into your own sense of power, and then the 8 of Cups which talks about walking away from a situation. So whatever it is that you're asking about, especially with that owl, there's a certain sense of you needing to trust your own wisdom in this particular situation, whatever it is you're asking about. And it doesn't have to necessarily be leaving a relationship, like cutting somebody off forever kind of a thing. But I do get the sense that whatever dynamic is going on in your life right now, if you're asking about it needing to change, there is, and I got a horn for confirmation outside, there is a definite need to change, right? Or there, like the however the dynamic is going on right now, and it doesn't necessarily mean you need to completely leave a relationship, but the dynamic as it exists needs to end. For whatever reason, it's not working, and it's going to take you coming back into your own power in order to change it. So maybe this is one of those situations where you've given your power away to somebody else, which, it happens. It's pretty easy to do, where, it's just too difficult or, too much to be a bother, right? And so you don't want to be a bother, and so you just go along with somebody else. And, eventually the more and more you make that choice, to say, well, whatever, it doesn't matter that much, I'll just do it or whatever. You start resenting that, not only that other person, but you start resenting yourself, right? And I feel as though this may be one of those situations where you've entered into that. And like I said, this doesn't have to be about asking about another person. This could be about yourself as well, right? Like maybe you feel really stuck in life right now and you don't really know how to move forward. And the only way that's going to do that is by you coming back into your own power, connecting back into yourself, and leaving a situation or a dynamic that's existing in your life. Maybe how you talk to yourself needs to change. Maybe the way that you approach life needs to change. The assumptions that you make on a day-to-day basis that are limiting the way that you move through the world, maybe that all needs to change. And I feel as though you're being encouraged to take the steps in order to make that happen. So let's take a look at some more tarot here. We've got 3 cards from the Smith-Waite deck. We've got Justice. Okay, wow, that's powerful. There's some powerful cards in this reading, by the way. We've got the Queen of Swords. Oh, yeah. Oh, some very clear messages here today. And we've got the Six of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. So, there's definitely a need to strike a balance coming in here. And I think that maybe you've been deeply imbalanced in whatever the situation is that you're asking about. And, if you were asking, should I change something? Should I leave something? Should I walk away? Should I move to something else? There's a definite need to do that. Should I rebalance my life? Yes, you should. The opportunity to do so is present for you right now. And I think that's the biggest thing about this is there's a real deep opportunity to make some changes if you're willing to do so. With this justice, yeah, because you have both the Six of Pentacles and the Justice here, that's some heavy, heavy balancing situation. So it's like there needs to come back to a sense of balance for yourself and with your life, and maybe in this relationship dynamic. It seems like there's a power dynamic going on with either you and yourself, like you and your shadow, or you and another person, where you've completely given up your power. To the point, and what does that mean? You've probably heard that before and not understood. What that means is it's you saying that you don't have control over your own life when you do, right? It's you saying, well, there's nothing I can do about this situation, so I'm just going to go along with it, even though my heart and my mind and my intuition is telling me I shouldn't be doing this or I don't have to be doing this. I'm going to do it anyway because I don't really feel like I have a choice. I don't really feel like I have an option. That is you giving away your power to a situation, to somebody else, just because it's easy, or just because, you're really entrenched in something. Who knows? Maybe it's a situation is really crappy and isn't working, but you've just put so much time, thought, and effort into the whole thing that you're like, well, man, to leave it now, like I have so much emotionally invested in this, like I can't just go. But actually, you can. And I know that's not easy to hear. I've gone through this particular situation myself in my life, and it's not easy to walk away from something or from people or situations. There's a definite need to walk away from either certain people, maybe a group of people, maybe a certain place that's not good for you. Whatever it is, take this as it resonates for your situation. A lot of times we get stuck in these kinds of situations because, we just feel like we have too much invested in the situation, that it's like to leave now would be, devastating because we've just put so much time and thought and effort. But in reality, like, just because you've already put in a lot of time and effort into something, if it's not working and you don't want it anymore and it's not working for you, you continuing to put time and effort into it is not going to make it better. It's just going to make everything worse. Whereas if you were to take the time and energy to move out of it and move into something else, you'd actually be allowing yourself to have the sort of happiness that is possible to you. And so I really do feel like you're being given the opportunity to change something. And with this Queen of Swords dynamic here too, it's like maybe you're a little bit afraid of seeming too mean, or seeming cold, or seeming like, like you're a bad person for walking away from something. But first, two things. First of all, you can't control how people see you. You can't control how the world perceives you. And that's just a fact of life. And it's not an easy one to come to. It's not an easy understanding to get to, because it takes the acceptance of the fact that some people are just going to hate you no matter what. And like, that's just them. That's them and their stuff. And like, you have no control over somebody else's psychological anything. And so if somebody doesn't like you, like, that's a them problem. And I mean, obviously, like, don't be a jerk. Don't be an asshole. Pardon my language. But don't be a terrible person. But if you are doing your good, solid best to be a good person, to live a life that you feel proud of, to make decisions that are in your and the world's best interest, if you are serious about doing that, then you don't need to necessarily worry about certain people perceiving that as being bad or being wrong, because you don't have any control over somebody else's perception. That's based on their own internal stuff that you don't know anything about. You don't know where that's coming from. You don't know anything about that. And, that's them and their thing. And so if you need to walk away from somebody, prioritize your own sanity, your own personal well-being, because if you don't prioritize that, no one else is going to. And I know that's hard to hear, but it's the truth. If you don't prioritize your own well-being, no one else will. And so it's like, because nobody else knows you the way you do. Nobody else is going to be able to understand your needs more than you do. And so that's a part about taking back your power, is understanding that, like, your partner isn't going to always necessarily know what's best for you. And you have to be an advocate for your own self in all of your relationships. Because if you aren't going to advocate for yourself, nobody's going to. You can't expect anybody else to do that for you, because they are busy advocating for themselves. And sometimes people take advantage, and sometimes people will when we're in this sort of unhealed space, sometimes we can enter into codependent relationship dynamics, where either one or both parties are kind of needing to use the other person to alleviate emotional pain. And that's hard to hear too. I'm not necessarily saying that you're doing that, but it's easy to get wrapped up in that kind of situation when you don't know your own needs, when you don't know what's going to make you happy, when you don't know, and you're not advocating for your own personal well-being. When you abdicate your own well-being for a relationship, you are giving up your ability to be in a place of being whole and healed. And so any relationship dynamic that builds from that is going to build from a place of you already being depleted, because you aren't giving yourself the time, the space, the energy to be all that you need to be. And so if your relationship dynamics are formed from a place of you already being in lack, already being, not getting what you need out of it, if it's a one way relationship dynamic, that other person is never going to undo that for you, right? Because they only know the relationship dynamic with you that you've established with them. So if they're a relationship of take, it's because you have been in this relationship of give, give in such a way where you aren't advocating for your own self. And because you didn't do that up front, it's going to be really, really hard for you to reestablish a dynamic with somebody, particularly if this is a long entrenched situation with somebody, because they aren't prepared for that. Now, that's not to say that you can't do that, right? If this is a family member, you can reestablish family member dynamics without having to completely cut your family members out of your life. And if you need to do that too, that's perfectly fine. It's up to you to figure out what you need and your own needs of your own personal well-being. But it's definitely possible to reestablish family dynamics, but it's got to come from you having very, very clear boundaries. And I feel that that's big in this. Let me pull these three last cards, because I've just gone on such a tangent here. But yeah, it's like really establishing clear boundaries with people. And if you need to do some research on boundary building, please do. I had no idea what boundaries were for most of my life, and I had really challenging relationships because of that, until I learned how to say no. And that no is a full sentence. First of all, no is a full sentence. You can just say no. You don't have to explain yourself. You can just say, "Hey, you know what? This isn't working, and I can't do this anymore." You don't have to do anything beyond that. No is a complete sentence. Let's take a look at the cards here. We've got the Four of Cups. Interesting. You got some rat energy coming in here. He's a cute rat, though. You've got the Five of Cups. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I feel that. And you got the Empress. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay. So these final cards are bringing us a little bit of what we've already said, but in a different direction. It's like, when you start advocating for yourself a little bit more, you're going to be into a place where it's like, this divine feminine energy, the Empress is all about the divine feminine, is coming into this reading, which is all about being receptive and being open. So, and I think you are a very deeply open person and very receptive. And I feel that deep emotion running through this reading. I think you're a very emotional person, and you're a bit afraid of seeming cold to people. You want to be kind and open and compassionate, but some people are going to be taking advantage of that. And I know that sounds crappy, and I don't mean to I don't mean to sound mean, but there are people on this earth who, that's what they want to do. And we live in a free will zone on this planet, and what that means is that they have every right to do that. Um, just because somebody has the right to be a crappy person, though, it doesn't mean that they won't suffer the consequences of their actions. And I feel like karma exists in such a way that we will all always suffer the ramifications of our actions, just because that's just energy, right? I think that it's Newtonian, right? Or the law of thermodynamics, or no, it's one of Newton's laws. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? I think that that's karma in a nutshell, from a cosmic standpoint as well, where it's like, if you're gonna make a crappy choice in life and be real jerk, like, you're gonna have that given back to you in some direction. So you don't need to worry about somebody else, getting what's owed to them or whatever. Like, whatever, rise above that crap. That's what I try to do. It's like, I don't want to even think about, people who've been jerks to me. Like, whatever, be a jerk, that's fine. I have every right to walk away from you, though. I have every right to say, okay, goodbye, I'm never going to speak to you again, and I'm going to literally cut you out of my life for all time, because I don't care. And I know that sounds harsh, right? I know that sounds harsh. um you know and I'm not trying to sound mean here, but it's like, some people will 100% take advantage of you. And that is all they're going to do, because that's all they do with people, and they don't know how to live in a way where they don't do that. And honestly, it's just really sad when you start to think about it, because it's like, that's all that person knows. They only know how to mooch off of people. They only know how to take advantage of situations. They don't know how to live any other way. And that is a sad and difficult and challenging existence. And you might be deeply compassionate for people like that. I know I was for a very, very long time. I still am. I still am compassionate towards people like that. But at the same time, I understand that it's so easy to get caught in that web of those kinds of people. If they are that kind of person, yes, everyone has the ability to change. And I have hope in that they will take that opportunity to change. But I also know that at the end of the day, it is not my job to make them change. It is not my job to be their coach, to encourage them to change, because if somebody doesn't want to change, they never will. And that's really important to remember. Like, you don't have the ability to change somebody, right? That people are going to people, and that's just what people do. And so it's like, it's not really your job or responsibility to change somebody, but it is your job and responsibility to change yourself. And so let's take a look at these other cards. There is this sense of needing a perspective shift coming in here as well, and I think that it's important to remember that as you move through the situation. With this Five of Cups here, you might be in or coming out of or in a difficult period. The Five of Cups tends to be the dark night of the soul card, which no, it's the grief card. Oh, okay, yep. Which is a little different. It talks about this major perspective shift, and actually with the Four of Cups here as well, I do feel like this is a double message coming in, where it's like, sometimes things are challenging and difficult and awful, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat that, right? Like, I tend to take a Buddhist perspective a lot in life, which states that life is suffering. At the end of the day, life is suffering, which, might sound a little nihilistic and dark, but it doesn't have to be, because it's not. It says, once we acknowledge that life is suffering, then we have the ability to actually do something about it, right? It's like one of those, the first step in having a problem is to admit that you have the problem, right? It's true. It's like, okay, so yes, things have been terrible, and there's no sugarcoating the fact that terrible things are terrible, right? Like, when awful, horrible things happen to us, it's not great. That's a horrible thing. And I honestly wish that we didn't have to go through this. I do feel like, with the way that karma is and the way that this planet is, I feel in a sense that part of these things are lessons, giving us challenges in order to grow, and that we choose these kinds of lessons for ourselves. I do feel that way for myself. However, that still doesn't change the fact that terrible, awful, suffering things that happen on this planet are terrible, and they just are. But And this is the big but that comes with the Five of Cups. It's like once we acknowledge that, right? It's normally depicted as a person who's crying over 3 cups that have spilt, but there are still 2 cups that are upright behind him. And so that's saying that there is a major perspective shift that can come from grief and loss when we start to understand that, hey, look at the things that we actually still have in our life, right? Maybe I can develop a sense of gratitude. And I know gratitude can be hard for some people, because, like I said, when crappy things happen, they are really crappy. There's no sugarcoating it. It's bad. When bad things happen to us, and I don't want to be too dualistic by saying bad, but you know what I mean. When you go through a crappy situation, it's going to hurt. And, that hurt is real. And it's important to acknowledge that, right? The grief card is saying, if you're going to grieve that loss because it's real. If you feel heartbroken, feel the heartbreak for a while. You need to. But at the same time, don't let it take you over. I had my entire heart center totally and completely blocked off for my whole being for a few years of my life after ending my last relationship. And just like I was in a dark, dark, dark place, and then after a while, a part of it was my own fault. It was like, yes, terrible things happened. Yes, it was awful that the relationship ended the way it did. Yes, I got myself into a situation that was crappy, and I felt bad about it. But it was up to me to move out of that situation, and ultimately I did. It was a pretty dark, dark, dark depression that I went through in my life, but I ultimately felt like I needed to move out of it because it was keeping me in a terrible place. And that was one of the hardest things I have ever had to do. But that's a part of the Five of Cups energy, is like when you go through these challenging situations, you have the power and the ability to move out of them. But in order to do so, it's about having that perspective shift, starting to see the things that are real in your life that are great. Gratitude is all about like, hey, you know what? Are you breathing right now? Like, thank God that I have the ability to put breath in my mouth right now. Thank God I live in a place where there's air and I can breathe. Like, that might sound silly, but it's so true. My lungs are working. Okay, let me breathe now. Thank God I can do that, because not everybody's breathing right now, at least I'm not dead. And so then you just take it from there. Like, okay, I have an apartment right now, like, and maybe you're living with roommates. Okay, well, I have a roof over my head. Okay, I'm not on the street. I live in Seattle, and we have a huge homeless population here and all over the West Coast and in this country, the United States. There's such an incredible amount of suffering right now. And you know what? Like, I have the ability to have a roof over my head. I'm so thankful for that. And even if you don't right now and you're watching this, you have access to the internet because you're watching this. So, you know what? That's something to be deeply grateful for. I have access to the internet right now. That is a tremendous achievement that not every human being has the ability to tap into. I am so thankful for this right now. And the more that you start looking at that, the more that you're able to move yourself in a direction of happiness here. So, anyway, this has been a longer reading than I thought it would be, but that's fine. I think it needs to be. So we've got one card left, and it's perception. Yeah, which is totally what we've just been talking about. So for you guys, this is a yes. It's just like turned out to be not a yes or no reading, but it is. It's yes if you're thinking about moving out of a relationship, you're thinking about moving away, you're trying to heal your heart from past pain, you walked away from something, any of that, you're trying to stop yourself from falling down your own depressive bullcrap, I've been there, trust me. In order to do any of those things, it's going to take you changing the way that you view the world, changing the way that you view yourself, and allowing a new perspective to come into your life. So be open to that. Be willing to change your perspective, because the more that you do that, the closer you're going to get towards this happiness that really does want to come into your life. So be open to it. Anyway, pile number 3, I'm going to end it there. It's been a long reading, but it's been a really powerful and important one. So thanks for tuning in with me. I would like to deeply thank all of my new subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. It really does help. We recently reached 900 subscribers. As a thank you to all of you, I am giving away a free reading to one of my viewers. You can find a link to the drawing down in the description section. I will be closing the drawing on October 1st, which is a Friday, 2021. I know I didn't get this video up and recorded as soon as I wanted, so I know that's coming up really quick. But, if you have a quick minute and it's not Friday yet, please do sign up for that because yeah, it's an ability for that. If you didn't get to that, do subscribe because once we reach 1,000, I'm going to be giving away 2 readings as well as maybe some other fun bonus things, maybe some original artwork from me or anything, really. I don't know. We'll see. So definitely please subscribe. It really does help. If you would like a private reading with me, I do have them available on the website. You can find more information at junodrum.com. And yeah, anyway, that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day. Pile number 3, and I will catch you later. See ya! Hi, friends. Welcome to this Pick a Card Tarot pile number 4. This is going to be your reading for what is the answer to your yes or no question. I know I've done one of these recently, but I like pulling them out, and I know people really enjoy them, so I want to make sure I get as much of an audience in here as I can to announce that before we jump right into this, we reached 900 subscribers very recently. I'd like to thank all of you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please do. But I'm doing a drawing to give away a free reading. So you can go down to the description section of this video and click the link to sign up. By October 1st, one lucky viewer is going to win a free reading for me, just as a thanks. So let's dive right into this reading. You chose a pile with these beautiful flowers here and marigolds, maybe? Something like that. I'm not very good with flowers, so let me know in the comments what kind of flower this is. But there's just this energy of blooming, so we'll take a look and see what your answers are. But there's a little bit of energy of this beautiful blooming light coming in here. So we're going to ask, we've got 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no. We've got a pendulum and a coin and a die. We'll either get a triple yes, triple no, or a maybe. So first we're going to triangulate the pendulum here and just get an accurate gauge on whether it's giving us the right answer. Is it getting dark outside now? Yes, it is. I just went for a run in between readings. It was really nice. Not that you wanted to know, but now you do. Am I sitting next to plants? I am. My plant friends. This is kind of their spot, but I take it over when I do readings and do some writing in the morning and stuff. It's a really nice little desk I got going here. Okay. Is there a French poodle sitting in front of me? No, there is not. No poodles in my house, but I do like them. They are cute. Is there a water bottle next to me? Yes. Okay, it took a minute though. But I think we're triangulated enough. What is the answer to pile number 4's question? Yeah, it moved into a no. So the pendulum is saying no. Let's take a look at the rest of them and see what we got, whether this is a maybe or a triple no. All right, we've got a 2 from the die, so we've got 1 no, 1 yes. Let's see which direction is leaning. With the coin, heads yes, tails no. And you got a heads from the coin. So this is a maybe leaning yes. So 2 yeses, 1 no. There's not a clear and definitive answer, and a lot of times there aren't in these readings, and I actually kind of like doing them this way because I think that a lot of times it's important to remember that we have free will in life, and we have the ability to make anything happen and make any choice that we need to because we have free will. And so I think it's important to remember that, and that's why I like having all of these maybe readings, because it shows that sometimes there isn't a definitive answer, and a lot of times these questions are things that it's important for you to come to your own conclusions on, regardless of what I'm telling you. So it just is important as an aside to remember that. There's a quote on the back of this that we will read at the end. For now, we're going to look at sort of what these tarot cards are. First, we have 2 from the Herbal Tarot. We have the King of Wands, very powerful card, powerful manifestation card, and the Ace of Cups. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So okay. So with this being a maybe leaning yes, I do feel like maybe this is, I mean, obviously this is different for everybody who is watching this reading, but maybe a lot of you are asking about dreams, hopes and dreams, visions for the future for yourself. Um, job ideas, creative project adventures, business things, um, travel, things that are going to bring a lot of happiness into your life. I feel like you're asking about that. Blooming. I feel this like intense blooming life, coming to life energy. So remember, this is a maybe, but it is leaning in the yesward direction. So if you're asking about, is this project a good idea? Is starting this new, there's a lot of starting new energies with the Ace of Cups here. And then with the Knight of Wands, it's like, he's like this deeply, deeply powerful manifester of bringing things into reality. So I feel like a lot of you are probably asking about, is this thing that's this idea of mine, this vision of mine, is it possible to bring this into the world? Can I do this? Will this happen? Am I making this happen? And with it being that maybe, it's like, yeah, there's probably a lot of steps that you have to do to get it to happen, but there is this bloom coming into your life, this like wanderlust, this like dreaming of making things happen, and then bringing them into reality. And I feel as though you have all of the tools at your disposal to make that happen. And there's this new beginning energy coming in, and a horn outside for confirmation. There's like this new beginning energy coming in to say, like, yes, this is a, if you're asking about starting a new thing, it's like, this is a beautiful time for you to do that. And you're so powerful at making things happen, that you can really tap into that power to bring things into this world if you so choose. Next up, we have 2 cards from the Smith-Waite deck. We've got the 8 of Pentacles, okay, and we've got the Knight of Swords. Yeah, okay, wow. So it's like, this is where this maybe kind of is coming in for me, and I kind of really like this reading right off the bat, because it's showing us a very clear pattern, right? The reason why this is a maybe and not a definitive, like, is this going to happen? It's like, this will happen for you if you put in a lot of work, right? If you are willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort with this 8 of Pentacles to make it happen, you can 100% bring something into reality. You can 100% make something happen. And in fact, I feel like you're being encouraged to do so. Now, if you are saying like, well, is this going to happen tomorrow? Can I just make this happen? Is this going to happen if I don't do anything about it? That's where this Knight of Swords energy is coming in. And he's sort of like, I actually rarely interpret him this way, but this is kind of the traditional interpretation, which just feels so adamant about for this reading. It's like, if you rush into something, if you're really hasty about trying to make something happen, and you want an instantaneous manifestation, right? This is feeling a lot like that. Like, you want to rush into something, make it happen. You don't really care about anything, but just make it happen. Just do. I don't think you're going to be so successful with that. And so it's like, that's where this yes, maybe leaning yes is coming in. It's like, will this project happen? It can happen 100%. And it will happen if you dedicate yourself to it, if you put in the time, the energy, and the effort to make it happen. I'm just drawn to, this is a lotus, and we can talk about lotus imagery in a bit, but there's just this little part of the bulb here that just looks like a watering can, and we have water kind of spilling over here. And so I'm just feeling like this sense of like, if you want the lotus to bloom, you have to water it, right? So it's like, if you want your manifestation to happen, if this is something you're dreaming about, you want your dreams to happen in reality, you 100%, no questions asked, can make this happen. This is definitely possible for you. It is an opportunity for you if you are so willing to put in the time, the energy, the effort, and the work to make it happen. You can 100% do so. However, if you try to make it happen instantaneously, if you aren't willing to put in the time and the effort and the energy necessary to make it happen, it can't come in, because you're not doing what needs to happen. So it's like, it's important to remember, when we're manifesting, we are co-creating with the universe. And so what does that mean? That means that we are working together with the universe. The universe is doing their part, and then we are doing our part. And it takes both in order to bring it into reality, to make it truly happen. And so it's just an important aside, don't be hard on yourself about this. It's just saying like, yes, you can make this happen, but you have to put in the work too. And so just be willing to put in the work. This might take time, this might take energy, this might take effort, and this might take an incredible amount of patience. But if you really tap into this King of Wands card here, the King of Wands, he's an incredibly patient person because he is so confident in his visions and in his ability to make something happen, that he knows it's going to happen. There's nothing that can stop his ability to understand that it is coming. And so he's just willing to put in the work and the time and the energy necessary to bring something into reality. And he will take his time to make it happen because he knows without a shadow of a doubt that it is real and that it is coming. And so, there's just a lot of that energy in this. It's like, trust yourself and trust your ability to do it. Know that it is possible. Know that you can bring it into reality. Know that you can make your dreams a reality. It's just going to take time, and it's going to take effort, and it's going to take patience, and nothing happens overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day or whatever. And I know that's not always something that you want to hear. I hate hearing that, but it's the truth, though. Just take a look at my channel right now, right? We just reached 900 subscribers, and I'm so thankful. But the channel's really forced me to be, one, regular. It only grows if I'm regularly posting, and two, to be very patient with myself and with my audience, with everybody, with you guys, with everything, because it's taken me so long. I mean, it's been about a year and a half that I started this channel, and I'm still not quite at 1,000 yet. And I was hoping it would happen like week 4, you know what I mean? But that's okay. I'm sticking with it. I'm making it happen, and I'm willing to put in the work and the time and the energy to make this channel real and to really celebrate it, So just take that as an example, Take the time and the energy that's needed. But if you have faith in yourself and you have faith in the process, and and we've got some horns outside for confirmation in that, if you have deep faith in yourself and the universe and your abilities, then know that it's definitely possible for you and you can make anything happen. We've got the moon and we've got the 6 of Wands. Yeah, so I definitely feel like your ultimate outcome is victory if you so choose to put in the time and the energy. But, with that moon card, I think it's important to remember, too, that you might not have all of the steps in front of you. With the moon, it's like we don't always see a clear path ahead. We don't know everything that's going to happen because it's not daylight, but we're at least illuminated by the moon enough to see enough ways forward to not stumble and fall and trip and hurt ourselves. So it's like, trust the moonlight. Know that you may not have all of the answers available to you in this particular moment, but that does not mean that it is impossible to get to where you want to go, right? It does not mean that you won't get there. It just means that it might take time and you might not see all of the ability forward, but as long as you keep taking each next step, see the next step, take the next step, see the next step, take the next step, and just continue along that path. Do what's required of you when something comes up. If a challenge comes up, face it head on. If a snag comes up, look at it fully. Ask yourself, what is needed of me to work through this? What is required of me? And do so. And then, when the great times come up, celebrate them as they come. Any of your successes, this victory card's here, or anytime you have a victory, be proud of yourself, that you are victorious, and celebrate yourself, celebrate your accomplishments, and keep moving forward. And you can build and create anything for yourself. So anyway, keep that in mind, pile number 4. I'm going to leave your reading there, short and sweet. Pretty nice reading here today. So if you, like I said before, if you want to jump in on that free reading, the drawing for the free reading, you can go into the description section. If you would like a private reading with me, in the meantime, you can find that information on my website at www.junodrome.com. I would love to give you one. Thank you so much for tuning in, pile number 2. I will see you soon, and have a wonderful day. Sorry, you're pile number 4. But yeah, you know that. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye. Hi there, pile number 5. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading for what is the answer to your yes or no question. This is a wonderful pick a card reading. Thanks so much for tuning in. I know I do these kind of frequently, but they really are my, they're the fan favorite. And so I hope it's not annoying for you for me to be doing these. because I don't want to annoy my regulars here, but thanks for tuning in, and I'm glad to be giving you these great messages. The main reason I'm doing a yes or no right now, just before we start, is that we recently reached 900 subscribers, and so as a thank you to you, if you are new, please do subscribe, it helps. I'm giving away a free private reading to a lucky winner of a drawing I'm doing. So go down to the description section to find out how to enter into that drawing. And we're doing it until October 1st, which is a Friday, 2021. So if you are catching this before that, sign on up. Otherwise, when we reach 1,000, I'm going to be doing even more stuff. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's dive into your reading. So we got 3 different methods for generating a yes or a no. We've got the pendulum, a die, and a coin. So we're going to get either triple yes, triple no, or a maybe in either direction. First, we need to triangulate our pendulum. So I have to ask it some questions I already know the answer to. First question, am I sitting next to a green water bottle? Yes, I am, and it's from REI, and I love it. Am I working on a painting right now? I am, and it's sitting in front of me, and I'm so excited about the color mixings on it. It's going to be wild. Okay, do I own a dog? No, I don't. It moved to no. I don't have a dog. I like dogs, though. Nothing against them. Love dogs. Am I sitting next to plants? Yes, I am. My plants are my pets. I love them. I have so many plants. It's great. Okay, finally, what's the answer to pile number 5's question? Yeah, okay. It's staying on yes. Okay, so the pendulum is saying yes, pile number 5. Let's take a look at the die. The die is a 1, so we've got 1 yes, 1 no. So we're in maybe category. Let's see which direction it's leaning. We got a heads, which is yes. So this is a maybe leaning yes. So you chose a pile with the moon. So, you know, it's important to remember with moon imagery, especially in the tarot, and this is just an oracle deck with symbols. It's a symbolism deck. But with the moon there, it can talk about not really knowing a clear way forward. And I think that makes sense for this maybe leaning yes. It's like I might not be able to give you a definitive answer in this reading. So just keep that in mind. We're going to get as close to a definitive answer as we can. But I think it's important to remember that sometimes there isn't a clear answer to a situation because the factors haven't changed yet. You know, different people might be at play here, and you know, different situations may need to occur before there's a clear understanding, or maybe there's multiple ways forward, and there isn't just one definitive yes or no. There's a spectrum, and so be willing and open to having this answer be a little bit of a wiggle, you know, that there maybe could be one direction, maybe it could be a different direction, and that's totally fine either way. That's okay. That's how life works sometimes, and hopefully we will give you some clear understanding here. So we'll set that aside. There is a message on the back. I'm actually going to read it now because I've forgotten for the last few piles to read the message. So it says, "Trust in dreams, for in them is hidden the gate to eternity," which is a quote from Khalil Gibran. So yeah, you know, there's this sense of dreams, you know, being open to dreaming as well that can be associated with the moon. So let's take a look at your cards and kind of get a better picture of what we're talking about here. First, we have 3 cards from the Herbal Tarot. We've got the 4 of Pentacles. Okay. We've got the 5 of Cups. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I kind of get an understanding of you from this or your situation. We've got the 7 of Wands. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I do feel like you're asking about a situation. So take this as it resonates, because you could be asking about a lot of different things. This is maybe leaning yes, but it's feeling, this particular reading, like I was saying, is feeling like there's some messages that are hidden here. You might not have a full truth coming out of this, but in particular, kind of some of what's happening in your situation here is I feel as though you've been kind of stuck for a minute. There's definite energy of feeling stuck, and a part of it is coming from this sort of energy of having lost in the past, right? In your past, whether it be immediate or distant, I think that you went through some difficult and challenging situations where maybe you lost people in your life, you lost certain things, because we have the grief card here and the Five of Cups. And a part of that has left you feeling as though you have to be on guard more with this Four of Pentacles, which talks about an overextended feeling of safety, right? Where maybe you're not really letting anybody in. Um, and I think it came from some difficult struggles here with that Seven of Wands. We can talk about struggling with other people, but the thing about the Seven of Wands, which is great, in helping this reading out and sort of looking up energy, is that the Seven of Wands, it can talk about being struggling with different people and different situations or with yourself, but being in the position to finally overcome that situation, right? It's like the Seven of Wands, the person has finally gained the upper hand out of that difficult situation. And so I think where that coming out of this comes from is also hidden within the Five of Cups. The thing about the Five of Cups, which is so interesting, is like he's deeply depressed, you can see, over these two cups that have spilt. But look at, there's three cups still upright here. So it's like he hasn't actually lost everything in his life. He's only lost a few things, but the losses that have occurred are deeply emotionally scarring and devastating. And, to pretend that they aren't is not helpful, right? It's important to remember with the Five of Cups that when difficult and terrible and, not so awesome situations occur in our lives, those things are challenges. And so it's like it's important to remember when challenges occur that, like, we have to feel those feelings. If you whatever your feelings are, it's so important to feel those feelings so deeply, because if you don't feel them, you end up bottling them and holding them within you. And the problem with that is that then you can't move forward. And that may be part of where this stuck energy is coming from, is maybe, maybe you haven't fully felt the grief that you need to feel. Maybe you haven't fully allowed yourself to feel all of the emotions that are present within you, and that those are making you stuck and unable to move forward because you have untapped emotions deep within you. So I'm feeling like there's a sense of encouragement for you to start to allow yourself to feel those feelings very deeply. And once you do, what's interesting about the Five of Cups is, like, he's in that grief state, so he's feeling it. But once you do that and you allow yourself to fully accept the difficult things that have happened to you, like deep sense of acceptance here. Once you allow yourself to do that, then you can start to change your perspective and start to say, okay, well, I see that I have lost many things, but what do I still have in my life? What are the things that are still present here? What are the things that are still here for me, and how can I connect more to those things? How can I cherish and have gratitude for the things that are present within my life? And what needs to happen for me to feel that fully, to fully see and accept all of the beautiful, wonderful things that are still present within me. And maybe I can cherish those things more now, even more so from having been through these difficult situations. So next up we have two cards from the Smith-Waite deck. And we have the Ace of Wands. All right. And we have the Temperance card. Yeah, so I feel that Temperance a lot here. So what was this? This was a you had a maybe leaning yes, and I do feel that. It's like, so if you've been through this difficult situation, if you feel like you're stuck a little bit because you're afraid to put yourself out there, it's important to remember that, I'm not going to tell you and sugarcoat this and say that nothing bad is ever going to happen to you again, but if you find a way to change your perspective and start to look at, the positive aspects of life, you can start changing the way that you interact with the challenging situations that are occurring, right? And that's where this Temperance card comes in. It's like when a difficult situation is present for you, instead of wallowing in it or telling yourself, oh my God, I can't believe this terrible thing has happened. Oh my gosh, I can't believe there's nothing that can happen for me, yada, yada, yada. Um, you actually can start to say, okay, well, how can I take this challenging situation and turn it into something? Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Maybe this situation, even though it's challenging and awful and I don't like it, maybe it has within it the capacity to create something new. And that's what the Temperance card is all about. And with this Ace of Wands here, I do feel like there is a new beginning and a new opportunity to really follow your passions and your dreams and your drives, and your creativity, to make something happen. And so, in order to do that, it's going to take you being willing to do this work, to release these emotions, and to start to see your life from this new perspective. And it's easier said than done. Trust me, I've been there. The Five of Cups can talk about being in a really, 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 difficult emotional state. And when you're in those states, it can seem almost impossible to get out of them, to change anything. And so it's almost like you can start to approach a why bother mentality. But I encourage you to open yourself up to um, allowing change to occur and allowing yourself to change your perspective and start to see something from a new way, where maybe you will be able to um, have this feeling of love come in by asking yourself, well, okay, yes, I see that this is a challenge. Like, okay, yes, I see that things haven't always gone my way, but what is that acceptance again? I accept that maybe some terrible things have happened in my life, but what is still present within my life? Where are the opportunities that are around me? Because if you're alive right now, you have opportunities to change, because change is the nature of reality. Change is what happens in life. It's like you don't have to worry about change happening. It's going to happen. So, even if you're and this is one thing I really like about Buddhism and Hinduism and some Eastern philosophies is, when you're thinking about karma and you're thinking about, um, like within Buddhism, there is these like hellish realms and hell dimensions or whatever, but instead of like the Christian sense where you're just going to be in hell for all eternity, like even hell changes, right? So like in Buddhism, it's like the nature of reality has changed. So even if you're in a terrible place, even if you're in the most deepest, darkest depression possible and everything is terrible and it's the darkest of the dark, change is the nature of reality. So you have the ability to move out of that. You have the ability to move into something new. That's what samsara is. It's the cycle. The wheel of samsara is that up and down, where you're in the bottom and then you work your way up to the top and then you work your way down to the bottom. And so it's like, in Buddhism, the philosophy is to try to reach enlightenment where you come to the middle. You escape that ups and down wheel. But that doesn't necessarily have to be what you're trying to do. It's just important. It's a nice metaphor for reality, in the sense that even when we are at our lowest, the nature of reality is change. We have the ability to come out of that and move into something better, to move into something bigger, to move into something that's going to make us more happy. And so it's like you're being encouraged right now to try to take that perspective and start to see, like, okay, well, what are the things that are present within my life that are great, and or even if they're not great, that are positive and that are helping me. And the more that you start to look at those things, the more that you give yourself the opportunity to move in a direction that is ultimately beneficial for you, in a way that um, is going to help you. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, you have two more cards here. We've got the Five of Wands. Yeah, yeah. The Five of Wands. Yeah, this is repeat energy, and the Son of Wands. So that's kind of cool. You got the Ace of Wands and the Son of Wands, which are, the Sun is the Knight. So in the readings, I tend to identify the Knights with whatever movement is happening within the reading, and so you're definitely being encouraged to follow your own passions and drives. And we have a lot of wands here. We've got you have the 5, the 7, the page, and the knight and the Ace of Wands. So there's this like fiery energy of creativity that really is trying to come into your life. And so, be open and willing to embrace that creativity here. And there's a new idea, a new beginning, a new way of impassionately moving through this world, and maybe you felt stuck and you felt a little dead on the inside. It doesn't have to be that extreme, but you know what I mean. Like you felt a little off or uninspired lately, and this deep inspiration wants to come into your life, so be open to it. Be willing to allow that inspiration in, because it's here for you, it's present for you. And with that moon, remember, you might not always see the full pathway forward, but if you keep trying, you'll find it. And it's a very intuitive card as well. Remember, it talked about dreams. Let me read that quote one more time. Trust in dreams, for in them is hidden the gate to eternity. So, you might actually have symbols to help you get out of this stuck feeling within your dreams. So, I do encourage you to start paying attention to your dreams, maybe keep a dream journal, and start looking for symbols. And sometimes, you can just look up the cheesy Google, like, what does this dream mean? What does dreaming of a basketball mean? I've done that, and it actually is helpful, because then you'll start to think about things from that perspective, and you'll start to see, greater symbols and illusions with illusion. Um, Illusion with an A is what I mean, present there, and be open to seeing those and stuff. So anyway, pile number 5, I'm going to leave you there. I hope that this reading resonated with you. I hope that you liked it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Either way, you still have a chance to get in on that free reading possibility, so find that link down below in the description. And if you would like a private reading with me, you can find them on the website at junodrum.com. Thanks again so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you soon. Catch you later. Bye.